What up, everybody? Good morning, YouTube. I am coming to you from just east of Flagstaff this morning, and what I want to talk to you today about is ELD'S versus paper logs. I know, it's a touchy subject, touchy. People are all over the place about this, don't like it, do like it, can't explain it, can't explain it, all that fun stuff. So, well, let's just jump into it. I'll give you my personal opinion. I've ran both, and see what you guys think. All right. If you have any comments, questions, you can always leave them down below. We can always discuss this kind of stuff, but just let me know. Here we go. All right, guys. So we have a setup right here. So there we go. Paper log versus electronic log. I currently am running the electronic log. I have been, since mid 2016. I've been on electronic logs. Before that, I ran the paper logs. So, what's the difference between the two? So, if you're doing everything that you're supposed to do on the paper log, what makes the electronic log any different is my question, right? So, if you're filling this out to exactly what you're doing every day, you're not running over your hours, you're not going over your hours on duty, you're marking when you stop, when you're driving, when you're sleeper berth. What makes it any different than this? So they're both just here to record what we do to keep us legal, to make sure that we're getting sufficient breaks and all that fun stuff, so that we're safe out here on the road, right? Because driver safety is the number one rule. So, that's the biggest question I've heard is, what makes them different? And nothing makes them different if you're doing what you're supposed to do. The people that I know that this really upsets are the people that are fudging this one, right? So, because this one you can't fudge. The electronic device, there's no getting around it. From the time you clock in, you have 14 hours until it clocks you off. So, a paper log, you can fudge. But I'm not saying that everybody's doing it, and I'm not trying to upset anybody. And maybe it's more along the lines of just getting used to using this after using this for so long, right? But what the electronic logs I feel like they have done is made things simpler. I mean, this thing is just easy to use, very easy to use. You don't have to touch it a whole lot. It records everything for you. And so it's a lot less stress on the driver. A lot less stress. With the paper log, you can get lazy and not fill it out when you should. And then at the end of the day, you're thinking back, you're trying to figure out, oh, well, where was I? What was I doing? When did I take that break? When did I go through that check station or weigh station? All those kind of things, trying to remember everything that you did, where this does it for you. But before we get into too much more, if you guys are wondering, I'm running the Omnitrax version. I really like this one. I think it was about $600, something like that. So it has a big 7-inch display, as you can see. You can see that I started my day an hour and 9 minutes ago. So I have 6 hours and 51 minutes of drive time left. So right now I just pulled off an exit to make this video for you guys. But everything's simple, everything's laid out right there as you can see on the screen. There's no question about anything I have going on. Where this, you kind of have to figure everything out for yourself, right? So, I know back when I was running the paper logs, they're not bad. And anybody that's uh, driving a truck 99 or older, you guys are exempt from this. So, I mean, you guys do what you want and keep running the paper logs. And if anybody wants to run the paper logs, just buy an older truck. So, but everybody that's 2000 or newer is now required because of the ELD mandate to run some kind of uh, electronic log. And so that's more along the lines of what this video's for, is showing you guys what I run and showing you guys how simple it is. So like I said, I'm not here to upset anybody, but for me personally, I've asked people the question because I've just heard people say, oh man, that electronic log, that ELD mandate, that messed up everything. I can't get miles anymore. It just messed everything up. Well, my first response is how did it mess everything up? If you're doing what you're supposed to do on this, the paper log, then why can't you do the exact same thing on this, the electronic log, right? Because they're no different. I mean, does this give you more than 11 hours of drive time every day and 14 hours on duty? No. Neither does this, right? Right? They're the same. It's just paper versus electronic. Where the world's moving from paper to technology. So that's always my first question, is how did going from this to this mess anything up? It didn't. It's just, you can fudge the top one. You can't fudge the bottom one. So, but it didn't change how many miles per hour you can drive. It didn't change anything. So, anyways, that's my question. I don't have a problem either way with either of them. I've ran both of them, so I'm fine with doing the paper logs. My only issue when I ran the paper logs is, well, I'm just going to say I was lazy. And so for me, it was a pain in the butt to go back and try to figure out what I did and what I hadn't done and everything else, remember where it went and the times and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to, go out there and say, back when I ran the paper logs, yeah, there was, I may or may have not fudged them a little bit to run my hours a little different, but it just got tired. Oh my gosh, it's so tired, so exhausting when you can do more than what you're supposed to do. But anyways, so here's the Omnitrix. So I'm going to go through this really fast for you guys. Try to keep these videos pretty short, keep people's attention. But this is the Omnitrix version. Like I said, 7-inch screen. Everything is laid out there for you on the screen. So under messaging, you have all my loads. I delete them every 20 to 30 messages. That's why I only have a few on there right now. It's because, one of the downfalls is it's electronic. It has a memory, so it can get over full, or it can stop working. And that's why I still carry that, is because if this stops working, then obviously I have to use paper logs. So anyways, there's the message screen. You got your inbox, your outbox, and your compose. If I want to send messages, I can put my load confirmation, when I arrived at the shipper, departed the shipper, arrived at stops, depart stops, empty calls. I can request pay stub verification, what I got coming on my money. And as always, the DOT time stays at the top. Now, you push the home button right here. One of my favorite features about this is it's a 7-inch LCD. I got my navigation right there, right? So there's my time. I can see up here in the top right corner if I have a message come through, you know, and then if I'm driving and I have a message come through, I can hit that message button. It takes me to the messages, but when you're driving, obviously you can't be on this, and so it brings up a little play screen to where I can play my messages while I drive. But back to the navigation, it tells me, I'm off of an off ramp on I-40. I'm going west. I'm on my my file, my truck file, so it gives me the right roads. It's my estimated time. That's not the time it is now. That's the estimated time of arrival is 8:47 p.m., which is back at my yard. Which it's not going to take me till 8 o'clock tonight to do 302 miles, but that's how far I have left. If you want to go into some other stuff, you can hit this little guy. All right, then it brings up another option. I can clear my destination, go to my routes. See if I can get this focus better. Directions. Go to the main menu. Main menu has, my places that I've saved, addresses, points of interest, maps. Then you have, the page I'm on now, your route, settings, whatnot. So you can go into your settings. You can change a bunch of stuff with your navigation. Sorry for the kind of jumping around on the screen there. But other than that, then you got your hours of service. You got your driver logged in. I'm logged in. Vehicle inspection. Vehicle inspection's nice and simple. Just click on it, go in, click on vehicle inspection or trailer inspection. I haven't done one today. I was waiting for this to do one with you guys. So it's already clicked vehicle inspection, right? Okay, go down, hit select. Any defects? Okay, we don't have any defects, so we're going to hit no. Okay, next page. Okay, and then it comes up with my signature and then my truck number. Just click that. Hit. Trying to see. 299 is my truck number. Click the screen. Done. Okay, and if you start with a vehicle inspection first, then it comes out, do you have a trailer? Well, yeah, I got a trailer on. So I hit yes. Okay, so now it comes into the trailer inspection. Any defects, if there is any, then you obviously click them, and then they'll take you into a notes section. You can write notes. But we don't have any. No. Next page. Okay, same thing. Click on it. 32F is the trailer I'm pulling. Okay, done. Trailer inspection complete. Okay, so that, boom. Because we're supposed to inspect our vehicles every day, so it's that simple on the electronic logs. But let's go back and let's get into the real stuff. Hours of service. So
you have 6 hours and 42 minutes of remaining drive time.
Yes, as you could hear, it has a little speaker. There's the volume button, the bright and dim button, and the home button. So if I want to listen to that lady tell me directions, then I can turn it up, I can turn it down, whatever. Okay, guys, but as you can see, it's very simple. It might look confusing to you guys that aren't used to electronic logs, but simple. On duty is my status. Okay, start 8:30. Now it's 8:50. Duration that I've been setting on the side of the road, right? Okay, so this morning all I did is I got on here and I went to change. Okay, this is what I seen this morning. So I went to change and I switched to on duty, and then I hit OK. So what we're going to do is we'll switch it to sleeper berth right now. So if I want to go to sleeper berth, that, okay. And then you're on sleeper berth, right? The duration changed now, because now it's counting the time that I'll be on sleeper berth. Okay, last 34-hour reset. There's not one in the current cycle. Hours to be gained, I don't have any yet because I still have hours that I can run. But hours gained in 2 days is I've gained 8 hours and 54 minutes. So I will get those hours back here in a couple of nights as it gets closer to my 70-hour cycle being over. So if you've ran, I think, more than 7 days, then you start getting hours back on the 8th night. Or yeah, I think it was the 8th night. But anyways, so and here's all your options for this. You got your summary, general, graph, day log, 8 days, approve, load, whatever. So it's simple, right? And so if I want to go back on duty, I change this, go back, hit on duty, boom. Okay, I'm back on duty, right? So this thing is simple. In the morning, you get up, all you have to do is hit on duty. You don't touch it again. You don't need to touch it again until you want to take your 30-minute break. Then you have to come in, you have to change it to the 30-minute break. When you're done with your 30-minute break and you want to start driving again, you can go in and change it back to on duty, or you can just start driving. It will change for you. So like you guys seen, when I came onto the screen, it had switched me on duty because I had stopped driving. I pulled off at the exit. And so it automatically knows, okay, you stopped driving, we're putting you on duty. Now, if I want to go to off duty or sleeper berth or off duty driving, I have to get on here and change it. But if it's something like this, I'm just pulling over for a minute, to grab a drink or something, I'm getting back on. I don't have to switch, you just pull over, it'll switch it on duty for a couple minutes. As soon as you start driving again, it puts you back in driving mode. So here's the summary of what I got going on. 8-hour rest break. So I have 6 hours and 38 minutes before I have to take a 30-minute break. 11 hours of driving, I have 10 hours and 11 minutes left. 14 hours on duty, I have 12 hours, 38 minutes. I mean, you guys can see this. So, and then there's my 70-hour clock. I still have 21 hours, but I'm only, whatever we said, however many miles, 300 and something miles away from being home. Tomorrow I'm taking my 34-hour reset. So then your general, all the information. Here's your graph. Okay, so this thing is right here. So I was in my sleeper berth until, 7:30 this morning. You can see that I went down. I was on duty to do my pre-trip, and then it automatically switched me up. I was driving, and now I've been on duty, except for that, minute or whatever it was that I clicked onto sleeper berth where it jumped up right there. But very, very simple, very, very easy to use. Your day log. There's a breakdown. Tells you, when you're on, when you're in sleeper berth, when you're driving, where you're at. Like right now, 19 miles west-northwest of Winslow, Arizona. There's my 8 days, how many miles I've ran. It's been, I just ran to Texas and back, so I've kind of just decided how many miles I want to run each day. Kind of, gives you a breakdown of how many hours you were driving, how many hours you were on duty, yada, yada, yada. And then, if I want to approve all my hours, then this is the way to do it. Because, and if you have to edit it, so say this one says I'm on duty, but I've been sitting here talking to you guys, so I can go in here, I can click edit, and then I can change it and say, oh, well, I wasn't working, I was in my sleeper berth. And I can change that, hit OK. They'll ask for a description of why you're changing it and whatnot, but we'll just hit cancel because there's no reason for all that. But Anyways, guys, video ended up being a little bit longer than I wanted, but I just wanted to show you guys, these Omnitrax units, very simple, very easy to use, takes all the stress and heartache out. I mean, it's simple, right? It's all right there on the screen. It tells you what you need to do, what you can and can't do. It tells you exactly how many hours and minutes you have to drive. Very, very, very simple program. Um, so for you guys that are kind of stressed and not feeling the ELDs, just get yourself something that's easy. Like this unit. This unit, just simple. I get up in the morning, I switch it to on. I don't touch it until I take my 30-minute break. Then I'll switch it to off or sleeper berth, whatever I'm doing. And then as soon as that's up, I just start driving. I don't have to get on there and touch it again. I just go. And then I drive until my hours are up. The next time I touch it, usually, is when I stop for the night, and then I switch it to sleeper berth or off, whatever I'm doing. So, I mean, it records everything for you. It takes all the guesswork out. It's just simple, no stress, and you don't have to worry, right? Because this thing keeps you legal. So, anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. I wish everybody well. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Be safe out there. Everybody have a great 2018. And just don't stress about the ELDs, Just get to learn your system. I think you guys will find out that it's not as bad as what people are thinking. So I know I can still run 700 miles in a day, in an 11-hour day. I mean, it takes up my whole 11-hour day right at 700 miles. I think I did 702 or 704, and I had like 3 minutes left on my clock. But anyways, guys, you can still get miles. Don't stress about it. Let's make 2018 great. Hope you all liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all very soon.